So I watched Sinners last week before, and I've had a little bit of time to sit on it and gather my thoughts, because my initial reaction, as much as I did enjoy it, I saw it so hyped that I was kind of expecting more. That being said, the more that I've sat with it over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, the more I've come to appreciate it. I think that's a good thing. A lot of the time when I walk out of a theater, I feel like the more I think about something, the more things I find to pick at and dislike. Particularly if it's something that I felt very mixed when I was watching it, like with Sinners. So for those of you that aren't in the know, Sinners is set in the 1930s around Mississippi, and these twins, both played by Michael B. Jordan, returned from Chicago after doing some gangster stuff over there, and returned to their home territory of Mississippi to set up a juke joint, which is like a bar, nightclub, blues venue. And the start of the movie is as Smoke and Stack, that's their names, Smoke and Stack, return to Mississippi after purchasing property. They go around rounding up all of their old contacts to launch this new venue. So they go down to the Chinese shopkeeper and his wife, who have like the local store, and they do signage and stuff as well. Stuff like that going around. And I really like this part of the movie where it is a homecoming of, you get to see these two. So they split off. So for most of the sequence, you don't have the twins together. And yeah, they're going and chatting to everyone. They're reuniting with people. And it's really heartwarming. It's got a lot of heart in it that I really like. All of the connections feel really genuine. It feels like everyone has history with the twins, but everyone has different history with the twins. And that's nice. It's not like everyone sees them in the, painted with one brush, as it were. So then it comes around to opening night, and we have a massive opening. And this is the point in the movie where it lost me a little bit, because up until this point, I'm really, really enjoying it. And from here, we're going to get into spoilers. So if you want to watch it, I think it's out on streaming now, which is crazy because it was only in theaters like 2 months ago. April 18th, not even 2 months ago. But at this point, the supernatural element is introduced, with the supernatural part being vampires. Going back to right at the start of the movie, there's a bit of exposition where they're talking about the power of music across all cultures, and the idea that music can summon the devil or whatever negative spirit those cultures would describe as, what Western cultures would describe as the devil. Great explanation, Josh. The main-ish character, Sammy, is a pastor's son who's really into playing the blues. So obviously you've got that conflict there of the blues being looked at as the devil's music, being sinful, and then obviously being the son of a pastor, and that conflict between them. But do I think that then having this whole idea that the blues has summoned vampires, kind of? Because kind of not really. But yeah, I feel like they didn't go far enough with this idea that certain music, in this case, they're really specific about it being blues, but then in the exposition, it's just the general power of music. Anyway, they don't really go far enough with the idea that it could summon evil spirits. There is a scene in the movie where the first vampire character is introduced. He kind of jumps into frame as if he were falling from the sky, meant to kind of mimic Lucifer falling from heaven, is the vibe that I got with, all the other religious connotation that's in this movie. But it seems like there's not really enough of a connection between the music and, I'm trying to remember the character's name, the first vampire guy. I can't remember, but he's an Irish immigrant, which I think is a nice little twist on the vampire. Could have just been another white dude, right? It could have been a white southerner, or an English dude or something, right? But particularly at that time in the US, the Irish are really seen as outsiders. They're very much discriminated against. And so it's this interesting, the vampire character is Irish, so it's an outsider, but not entirely an outsider. He's an outsider from both the American white community, but then also the African American community that they later try and successfully infiltrate. I thought that was a really, really good choice. But again, like there didn't really seem to be enough connection with him being summoned from the heavens and Sammy's music. They do connect it a little bit later on when the Irish vampires arrive at the juke joint and they're like, oh, we heard your music from miles away. That part seems to like connect it a bit, but then there's a sequence in the juke joint where there's this visual of the juke joint burning down while Sammy's kind of having a blues solo moment, and visually spectacular. They have these like different music performers across time popping up in this scene. I don't remember if it was a single take, but it felt like it was a single take where they're kind of like, it starts off circling around Sammy while he's playing, and then it kind of like moves throughout the juke joint. And as it's sweeping through the bar, yeah, there was like DJs, and then there was like break dancers, and then there was like some like traditional African stuff. Don't know which tribe, if it was like the Maasai or the Zulu or something. I don't know, but something. And that was all really cool. I just feel like, again, they didn't really build the connection all that much, because then after that point, I don't really talk about it all that much. Even visually, there's not a lot of metaphor to go with it. And honestly, until the supernatural vampire stuff started happening, I was really enjoying the movie. And then, yeah, it kind of lost me from there. I just felt like if they had gone bigger on the supernatural connection between like the supernatural and music, I would have enjoyed it more. And if they had just made it a, period piece sort of crime, Ku Klux Klan drama sort of thing, I would have enjoyed it more. But this middle ground didn't really work for me. And I think that's all I really got to say about it. I'm definitely going to rewatch it. It was something that I really enjoyed analyzing while I was in the theater watching it. So it's definitely the sort of movie I would come back to and study. So I'm probably going to do that. But I think I need some time from it. Like I don't like seeing something in theaters and then immediately going and watching it again to really analyze it. I like to sit with it for a while. Maybe if a friend wants to watch it or something. Like my brother hasn't watched it yet. Once he gets around to watching it, I might go watch it with him and then revisit it. But I would say it is worth watching. It is out on streaming now, so it's pretty convenient, depending on where in the world you are and licensing and all that shit. But anyway, peace.